Hey, this is Trader Travis with an FAQ video for you. Now, one of the more common questions I receive are about how much capital or money do you need to start trading with? Now, in my opinion, I think any respectable coach will tell you that you probably need anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 preferred and $5,000 at a bare minimum in your trading account before you start with real money. But I highly encourage people to practice on paper first. You are going to make mistakes. And so, I think it's best for you to make those mistakes on paper first. And then before, when you transition to real money, probably start with 10 to 30 grand. Now, some people don't have this. And so they start with what they have. But the reason this is generally so high, relative is high to everyone, is because you're going to make mistakes and you want staying power. You want to make sure you can survive all of your mistakes. A lot of people are offended when they see this and say, well, I only have $200 in my account. I heard options are cheaper. Yeah, just because you can find options that are cheap doesn't mean you should trade with only 200. And so for people who are struggling financially, broke, laid off, all of that, I say don't even try to trade options. I always refer people to the guy who helped me get a strong financial base, and that's Dave Ramsey. And you can see his courses on daveramsey.com. Now, the next question is, what are the criteria we use to evaluate a stock? Now, I use something we call the hot stock formula that I teach in my training programs, and that picks the top 10 to 20 best companies to trade. But unfortunately, this training is only available to students. But a good alternative is the list of 50 best stocks that Market Club picks out. It's free. I think it's like the top 50 trending stocks right now in the market. So you can go to mctopstocks.com to get that list. And it's free again. Next question is, people want to know, hey, can you give me advice on trades I'm currently in? Or others, say, hey, can you review some of my trades? Now, we primarily only reserve that for students, but even still, if you were or not a student, we can't advise you on trades that you're currently in. Because that is against the Securities and Exchange Commission. It's like consider specific financial advice, and I don't have my licenses anymore. I can't give you specific financial advice per the SEC guidelines. I'm an educator, so I can educate you and show you exactly what we do, but you have to make your own decisions. I don't want to break the law. I have a healthy respect for the law. Next question is, what kind of returns do you usually make each month utilizing credit spreads? Now, credit spreads could be, replaced with anything, call options, put options, or any kind of thing. But this is, I guess, a misconception or a myth. There's no cookie cutter answer. It really depends on the trades, the movements of the market, each particular trader. It's different for everybody. Some people make no money. Some people have a loss. Some people make a tremendous gain. It varies month by month, and that's one of the hardest things people have trouble probably grasping when they first learn trading is they're used to getting a steady paycheck from a job. And when you become a trader, your profits and losses are like working on commission. It's always fluctuating. So there's no usually set amount of money or percent returns you can get. We average it out. At the end of the year, I average out all of the money I made, and I get an average gain, but on a month-to-month basis, it varies. And that kind of leads into somewhat to the theme of the next question. People say, well, I know profitable results can't be guaranteed, but is it possible to generate, 10 grand per month trading stocks using Market Club service? Now, again, people always actually set figures, and it's not going to be a set amount of money each month. You can try to design your strategies around that, but even still, it's going to vary. And I know it's, always easy to see things from a profit perspective, but we shouldn't just always focus on profits, because what puts people out of business, making money or losing money? Well, it's losing money. And so what I always tell people is focus on losing money, learning how to not lose money, and then the kind of profits take care of themselves. But when you put so much emphasis and focus on making money, well, you don't guard yourself from the things that really will cause you to fail. And another thing is that trading is a difficult skill to master. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes dedication. A lot of our students, they see instant success. We've designed a program with like practical application exercises so they can make money within the first few weeks. Others are like me and they're on that long-term path, so they might have instant success, but then they lose all their profits plus a little bit more because they were too focused on profits or they got distracted. But regardless, it's going to take depending on how much money you start with, it's going to take a long time to develop or get up to that skill level where you can make 10 grand a month. So to help you out in our program, I trade a model account that has about 48 grand in it. And on average, it might make 2 to 5 grand a month. And so you're easily looking at, you have to have 100 to 300 grand in your account before you can make 10 grand a month consistently and conservatively. Okay, the next question here is, I only have $200 and I'm hoping to make more. I'm really scared because I can't afford a mentor at this time, and most of my knowledge is self-study. Now, this is somewhat what I was talking about earlier about it. If you only have $200, then trading is really not for you, at least in my opinion. Because, if you're trading with anything less than 5 grand, I think it's pointless. Just because you find options that don't cost much doesn't mean you should trade with only $200. Now, this is not the answer that most people want to hear, and I apologize for that, but, I care enough about people to tell them what it's really going to take to succeed. And if you're like broke and struggling and living check to check, then trading is not for you. I always refer people to the guy who helped me out, my mentor, Dave Ramsey, because you need to be in somewhat of a sound financial position before you learn how to trade options. Because if you're broke and you're struggling with money, then guess what? Even if you did make money as a trader, you'll spend your new money the same way you're spending your old money, and the cycle will repeat. So what we have to do is get a fix on our habits that are causing us to be broke or struggling before we try to learn a new investment skill. Use it as a career goal. If people lack the money or the funds, then I will say, let it become a career goal. Remind yourself of this goal daily, keep working and saving towards it, and soon, it'll be yours. Any other personal development person to say, you can make it happen if you set your mind to it and willing to work towards it. But feel free to run that advice by someone else just in case you disagree with it. Next question is a broker question. Which broker do you recommend, and is it possible to begin with a demo account where option trading is concerned? Well, the two brokers I use are Options Express and something called Thinkorswim. It's by TD Ameritrade. But the decision to use a particular brokerage or trading platform, that's a personal decision, and it varies. Everybody uses a different one. But what we tell people is just make sure that their customer support is accessible, easy, and willing to help either by phone or email. Like, test them out, get on the phone, ask them a bunch of newbie questions and see if they're patient enough to work with you. Because if they are not, then you probably don't want to hold your money there. They are not doing you any favors by being your broker. You also want to make sure they have a practice or paper trading account. They have online education, and also that, they're easy for you to understand. Like, their education is easy for you to understand. Because believe it or not, your broker is a huge resource. Some of our students even get tired of hearing me say it all the time. Contact your broker. That's a broker question, because you have no idea how much they can help you out with your education, even for particular trades. If a trade goes wrong, you can't figure out why it went wrong, I just call up my broker, and they usually can walk me through what went wrong. But we don't tell our students which broker to pick, because it's not our money that will be there. So you have to find one that works for you. And, honestly, it's just a research process. Just do some research online. And just remember, you can always switch later if you don't like the broker. I've had several brokers over the years. I've switched. So don't ever get caught up and scared to open up an account. Just realize that, if once you gain more experience, if you realize you don't like this broker, you can always switch later on. Okay, next question is, someone wanted to know how they can keep their cost trades down. And this is something a lot of people don't know, is that, I assume this person was referring to commissions, and you can call your broker often and negotiate better rates. It's not, you won't see that on their website, but it's one of those hidden truths. A lot of things in life are negotiable. Just ask. If they say no, you didn't lose anything. You're back to where you started. That's the philosophy I approach life. Just ask. If they say no, you didn't lose anything. You're just back to where you started. So just call them up and try to negotiate a better rate and see if they can help you out. All right, that's it for now. You take care. I'll see you in the next FAQ video. Bye-bye.